It's coffee break! Yay, another week.
Yeah.
We did it. We survived.
Somehow, we keep doing it.
Yep, somehow.
Keep making it back here again.
Okay. Let's kick it off with crunch time.
Yeah.
This time, there's not much information about this one.
Okay.
But it is one of my favorite candies in the world.
Which one is it?
It's called the Now and Later.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've ever actually had a Now and Later.
They're not popular, and they're often grouped. You know when Halloween comes around?
Yep.
Or any holiday, right? You get a assortment of candy bags.
Yeah.
And then you get those lower end ones that got like Smarties and Dum Dums.
Yeah, it's kind of like the cheap, kind of chalky.
Those older school kind of candies. Mm-hmm. Now and Later's found their way into that.
What is a Now and Later? What's it made of?
It's very much a taffy-like substance.
Gross.
I love saltwater taffy.
Real taffy's great, but
Yes.
so often with these like processed company taffies, no.
Now here's the weird thing, and this is why it has its name. They come in little colorful squares, and the colors represent the flavors, right?
Yeah.
Just like all candies usually do.
Yep.
They come in these like square things, and you open up the like wax paper, and inside is your nice hard piece, very hard,
Yeah.
of taffy.
Because you're supposed to suck on it all day, aren't you?
You're supposed to, have it in your mouth, and it will soften, and then you start chewing on it, and then you ingest it.
So you're having it now, and you will be having it later,
Yes.
is the idea.
Yes. Now, if you were to, I've had old pieces of it,
Yeah.
where it's dried out,
Ew.
and you try to go in with your teeth, it shatters.
Ooh. Which one, your teeth? Or the candy?
It can be very stressful for your teeth. There's a good reason why a lot of people don't like these.
It's a young man's game.
I've always enjoyed them, and they actually have good flavors.
What flavors? I only thought there was one. Now and Later.
There's 12, apparently.
12?
So it is an American-made candy made by Ferrera.
Uh-huh.
We ran into Ferrera earlier with something else. I think it was like Jolly Ranchers.
I think it was one of the chocolate ones. Because when I think of Ferrera, I think of Ferrero Rocher, which is the, like, circular ones you get at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a little ball of hazelnut goodness with chocolate
Yes.
and nuts on top of it.
They used to be really expensive when we were kids, and now they're cheap.
Now they're cheap as hell.
Yeah, and they don't taste the same.
No.
All those holiday candies, by the way, all of those, I'm not going to touch until the holidays show up.
Cool.
So if you guys are waiting for,
Candy canes.
or candy
Don't
corn,
hold your breath.
give it a few months, and then we will be talking about them.
Yeah.
I just felt like that was more appropriate, that you would learn about them during the season that you would have them.
I guess it makes sense.
Like, I came across Peeps, and I was like, I hate Peeps, and I'd love to talk about them. But I was like, well, we can wait till Easter.
That's an Easter thing.
Yeah. So, colorful squares, right? 12 flavors. Traditional and chewy. So I found this out. Chewy varieties. I've never seen one.
What is that?
It's where it's not hard. It's just chew.
So
it's just taffy.
It's just a later.
Yeah.
There's no there is no now. It's just later. I mean, I guess that as someone who doesn't want to suck on their candy for hours on end, I guess that sounds more appealing to me.
So, the name, you were able to deduce so much, right? And you're correct. I found this from a weird third-party site. The Wikipedia, if you look at it, it's very small. There's not much about this candy, like I said. They were created in 1962 by the Phoenix Candy Company,
Wow.
which was in New York.
Oh, so, okay. They just picked the name Phoenix because it sounded cool?
Probably because of the mythical beast. But what this website said, I thought was more better than and more elegantly put than what the Wikipedia said. And I quote, "The name Now and Later was chosen to highlight the candy's unique texture. When initially consumed, the candy is firm and requires some chewing. However, as it warms up and softens in your mouth, it becomes easier to chew and enjoy the fruity flavors." The candy's name also signifies the experience of savoring the taste of both immediately now and over time later.
Very well worded. Weird third-party website.
Yeah, they had a little post after that about like their own personal experience as a kid, which I was like, that's not something here that I want to quote.
Yeah, it's just a candy.
It was nice to know that someone writing about this candy also enjoyed it. They went through a lot of weird things. The company got sold, Phoenix, to Leaf, to Nabisco, to Kraft. Kraft macaroni and cheese. Kraft singles.
Okay.
To the Ferrera, which is the candy company that you were talking about. Yeah. But it's gone through this whole thing. And then your flavors here are apple, banana, blue raspberry, cherry apple splits, cherry, grape, strawberry, tropical lemonade. I don't know what that means.
Different than regular lemonade.
Yeah. Tropical punch. Which I would just assume punch is just tropical. Watermelon, wild fruits, and original.
We're catching a real theme with all of our non-chocolate related candies having very similar flavors to each other. Since I've never had a Now and Later, I cannot comment on the flavors of any of these. I didn't think it had flavors.
I can't believe you never had one.
I mean, like, I don't know. I can't even visualize what it looks like.
It's literally...
I'm picturing something similar to a Starburst.
Yes, but longer
Okay.
and flatter.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. I think I know what that is.
And they're kind of a pain in the ass to open.
I might have had like one or two as a kid, but I
would get
didn't
them.
like them.
I would get them during Halloween night. And it would be one of the first things I go for. You know one of the last things I would go for?
Which ones?
The Twizzler.
Save the Twizzler for last.
I will talk about the Twizzler, but that's a totally different story.
That'll have to be a whole thing.
And I'm going to tell you all about licorice.
So that was the Now and Later.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird one. I asked you a number. Remember that?
Yes,
you gave me 23.
You apparently have a list.
I do. And I'm marking them down so that I know that I'm not repeating them.
Nice. Smart.
No. Smarties.
What's going on?
Okay, so this last weekend, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse came out.
Yeah.
To no avail.
No one liked it.
it.
Definitely no one liked it.
Everyone thought it was trash.
It's definitely not booming in the box office.
Nope.
Zero fan art. Zero love.
I've seen nothing about it online.
Yeah.
It's probably the most concerning thing. It's like, the first one took the Academy Award from Pixar. And no one wants to talk about this one? That's weird.
So, we're done being sarcastic now. Everything we've said was false.
Oh, absolutely.
It seems amazing. Everyone loves it. I'm excited to see it eventually.
That's a different Spider-Man series, by the way.
Yeah. Which one?
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
No, everything looks great. I've read the story. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, you just love spoiling things for yourself.
I do, but I can imagine that watching this would have more of an impact than reading about it.
I don't think they're really trying to do a twist, a surprise.
I know that this is definitely... It was originally supposed to be part 1 of 2. And the third one is going to be the last one.
Yeah.
They took away the part idea.
Makes sense.
Yeah, when I was reading it, I was like, oh, okay. This makes sense. There is room for a third movie.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. It looks neat. It looks busy. But I've seen a lot of people saying that the art direction, it helps lead your eye. It doesn't distract from it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really nice. And the music's supposed to be off the charts. And you got all these different Spider-Mans who have different personalities. So it's very diverse.
Yeah.
Cameos galore.
I bet.
So, with Spider-Man coming out, the Sony producers, it's Amy Pascal and Avi Arad.
I'm not gonna know their names.
They've produced all the Spider-Man movies.
Cool.
Amy was the one who asked Kevin Feige to help her after Amazing Spider-Man failed.
Ah, okay.
And he played that weird trick on her where he's like, don't do this, let me use it. Avery's kind of known as the asshole who kind of forced their hand with Venom for Spider-Man 4.
Okay.
The Tobey Maguire one. Anyways, they were talking about it. Tom Holland will have a fourth Spider-Man.
Okay.
It's delayed due to the writer's strike.
Makes sense.
Which is now 37 weeks strong?
Weeks? No. Definitely not.
Days?
Yes.
Days? Okay.
Not weeks. There's only 52 weeks in a year. They have not been striking for half of a year.
I don't know. They write it. Why would I not know it? They also said Spider-Woman is on her way, along with a live-action Miles Morales movie.
That'll be cool.
Interesting. They were building towards it. I know they've been building towards it. And there's definitely a cameo in the new movie that kind of hints towards that, building towards it.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. I know what the hint is. Yes. I know the cameo.
Well, I told you about it.
Yeah.
No, I've told you a lot of stuff.
Yes. I don't mind spoilers too much. You know, I've gone my whole life trying to avoid spoilers for things, and I realized it's not worth the stress. Just learning the spoilers is perfectly fine.
I like knowing them.
Yeah, I know you do.
I like knowing like what I can anticipate. I'm not big on surprises.
No, not even in a story, when that's the point.
Yeah, I don't like that. That kind of bothers me. And then, especially when they're like, surprise, haha, gotcha.
Yeah, I do.
And then I feel like an idiot.
I do think Hollywood in general has overpopularized the gotcha, specifically with villains. And now they focus more on making you be like, whoa, I never thought that person was the villain, rather than making an actually good villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially Disney and Pixar.
Massive layoffs. As of filming or recording this right now, 75 employees from Pixar have been fired.
Yeah.
Including the director of Lightyear.
It's because they gotta make money for tax write-offs, right? That's what it is?
There's another thing going on.
What is it?
It's something we didn't talk about on Coffee Break, but you and I talked about personally. That Disney themselves are going out and finding, like, Willow. Remember, guys, we used to talk about Willow, that live-action series?
Horrible.
It went nowhere.
Yeah.
And instead of keeping it on the streaming service, because people actually put in their time and effort to make this, and it was completed.
Yeah.
There was a full season that you could have watched.
They just
and it's gone.
Axed it. They just got rid of it.
All of it. It's gone.
Which
you can't buy it.
Which is so weird. Like, yeah, I know it was a flop, but I don't know. Surely someone would have wanted to preserve it, at least for, like, archival sake.
Yeah. I mean, this is very different than what Warner Brothers did with Batgirl, because this is a completed finished product. That was... Imagine this. There will be a hypothetical scenario here where we meet a younger group of people and they like Willow, the original, and they go, I wonder why they never did a sequel.
Yeah.
And then we could tell them all about the sequel, but we can never show it to them.
Maybe one day, eventually, they'll release it again.
I'm hoping somebody saved it.
Yeah.
But Hulu, also owned by Disney, is doing the same thing. They're just clearing out this long catalog and just cutting away things.
Damn. Which is horrible to me. Even if
it's okay. Next Level Chef is fine. I think we're going to do okay. It's a joke. It's a bad cooking show.
God, it's fucking boring. Better than fucking Food Stars, the new one Gordon's doing. Ugh.
Horrible.
2 episodes in and I can already feel this flopping.
Okay. Last week, Silent Hill came back.
Yes.
And gave us a little teaser.
Yes. It was pretty cool.
Silent Hill Ascension. The teaser doesn't show you much, other than monsters and characters.
Yeah, we have 3 main characters, it looks like.
I think there's more than that.
At least 3 main characters.
Okay.
At least from what I remember.
I was reading something on Twitter from one of the producers of the game. And he was explaining that I'm very confused because there's no announcement as to whether it's a game?
I'm sure it's a game, like a choose your own adventure type game, like
Yeah,
Telltale.
well, that was the idea, but
Yeah.
is it going to be episodic, and how do I get to it?
Mm.
But also, they were talking about 24-hour differences.
Of what? What does
So
that mean?
if you log in one day, you might not be able to play, but you can make decisions. Which I was like, that doesn't sound fun.
That sounds weird.
But if you make decisions, it takes 24 hours for them to take effect.
I don't know how.
So now this game...
No.
I wasn't really understanding, and the more they kept talking, I was like, you're just muddying it. I don't know exactly what this is.
That's literally my problem that I've been having with Animal Crossing. I started a new game. I've made a new island in Animal Crossing, and it's like, oh, you've done the 3 things we can allow you to do today. Come back again tomorrow. Stop playing your game entirely, unless you just change your internal clock.
Yeah,
And then you can keep playing.
You shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's absolute cheating. I'm glad to see Silent Hill back. I just don't get what this is.
I feel like they're gonna really, really screw
the
themselves over on this one if
Yeah.
they do this. But it's also Konami, so we kind of knew they were not good at what they do.
Yes. Yeah, they kind of have a history of driving away good people.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yellow Jackets will have a bonus episode before season 3.
So right before or in between somewhere, like.
What are you talking about?
Well, you say before the start of season 3, like
Yeah,
a week before, or some indeterminate amount of time.
It wasn't clear because of the writer's strike,
Oh, yeah.
but it sounded like it was going to be like a piece that you can watch to get you excited for 3.
Okay, because I was thinking of the bonus episode for Sandman that came out.
Yes.
But that was like 2 weeks after Sandman had aired.
Mhm.
So it was just after.
Yep. I'm still waiting on Sandman.
Yeah, well, the writer's strike. Not much we can do.
It should have been already written.
I don't know. Everything's all halted and stuff. A lot of actors and stuff are also going on strike and whatever.
For them.
Mm-hmm. So if your main actor is sitting there striking, it's hard to, like, make your show.
The Flash.
Yeah?
Do I want to talk about The Flash right now?
The movie?
Yeah.
It's so close to coming out, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say about it that we haven't already talked about?
I know everything.
Yeah? They've spoiled everything. They've revealed things on the internet.
It already said a lot of people are not going to like this one.
No. When does it come out? Next
The
week?
16th.
Yeah, next week. So very, very soon. And we'll get all of our answers then.
Yep. Which, that 16th, Garbage Eggs should hopefully be out.
Nice. Cool.
It will be about ranking Pokemon forms.
Yay!
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later.
And well, I guess we'll get to the Flash later too.
Yeah, the Flash, all I can say is I don't want to give you guys spoilers, especially those who want to avoid them.
Mm-hmm.
But go watch the Korean trailer. That's what we watched this morning.
Yeah. Apparently they reveal some stuff in that trailer.
Well, it's right there at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it very clearly. And at the end, when he does his foot slide thing,
Yeah.
and he meets the other foot.
Yep. Whole lot of stuff.
Yep, a lot of spoilers.
It's gonna
there.
be a busy movie. It's gonna be, so busy.
There's so much going on. And so much left out.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand how you can have so much going on and still not address the important parts that you needed to have in there. You know?
You know what kills me?
Huh.
And I will spoil this about the movie. Because as a fan of The Flash, and as a podcast about nerddom, I feel like I should address this. Eobard Thawne is not in this movie.
Well, of course not. Black Adam wasn't going to be Shazam's bad guy. You expect any of the other Justice League people to actually get their villains in their movies?
Yeah, also, okay. Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's not doing too good.
I can't believe his entire reputation just got tanked so suddenly. Like, he went from being like, yeah, we love that guy, he's cool, to, actually, no, that guy's an ass, and we don't like him anymore.
I was reading something. I was curious about Henry Cavill. And somehow I got into The Witcher. It was like 3 a.m. I was just on my phone, just playing around, right?
Yep.
And I was like, what really happened here? And there's not enough information for me to understand why he left The Witcher. There's a lot of reports of them just not getting along and the writer's not actually giving a fuck about the source material.
That's what I heard.
But
because he's very passionate about the source material.
Yes. But there was also another site that said that it wasn't the source material, it was because they weren't keeping close to the games.
Well, I would.
And I was like, those are two different things.
I would imagine the person reporting that might not know the difference between the source material and the games. Because if you ask people, a lot of people don't know that The Witcher is a book series, not a game series.
So, anyways, Henry Cavill playing Geralt?
Geralt? I don't remember. There was a way I used to say it, and then they said it differently in the show, and now I don't remember which was which.
Yeah, The Witcher, right?
Yeah.
He will be replaced with Liam
Hemsworth. Liam Hemsworth.
I was going to say Neeson. I was like, that would make no sense.
A very specific set of skills. Magic. Come on.
And it can do as I say.
Come on, Roach.
I wasn't trying to imitate him. I was just... forgive me. Okay. Yes, and Roach.
So, what were you saying about Henry Cavill?
Oh, so Henry Cavill. Do you remember? He came back as Superman?
Yeah.
And The Rock was like, I got him back. And they're taking shots of tequila.
And that was weird.
And then he shows up in the movie at the end. And it's supposed to be this big fight.
And that was also weird.
And the DCEU just collapsed.
Because, like, that's not Superman's bad guy.
And
he looks like Shazam.
Well, I was kind of curious. I was like, what happened to Henry Cavill?
What happened to him?
He went off to go talk to James Gunn and Peter Safran.
Nice.
Who are the co-CEOs of DC right now. Right? And they're going to helm the new DCU.
Yeah.
And after talks, I guess it came clear to both sides that they don't need him as Superman anymore.
He doesn't want to be Superman anymore?
He doesn't want to be Superman. They don't need him. They just...
Yeah, let him do his own thing.
Left.
All he wants to do is sit around and play Warhammer 40K.
And that's his next big project. He is an executive producer, and he will star in the Warhammer film.
Cool. Nice.
I think it's going to be a series made by Amazon.
Cool. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's just getting to do all his fun nerd things that he loves.
I just thought it was weird. I was like, that's... At one point, this was the Man of Steel.
Yeah. And
now he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, there's always room for more, to grow, to expand. See whatever the next attempt at Superman will be, and whatnot.
I'm excited for it. Superman Legacy.
I'm more excited for whatever Henry Cavill is going to do next. Because he's been doing just a lot of passion projects, and I appreciate that.
He's actually a really good actor.
Yeah.
And a fun one to be around.
And he looks like a nice guy.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's a giant buff nerd.
Yeah.
The Rock, on the other hand.
Egomaniac.
Oh my god. I don't like this guy anymore.
No.
I really don't.
No.
I've changed my mind. And it had to do with, he had his feud with Vin Diesel over Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
And remember, Vin Diesel extended out a letter to him and said, come back, my brother.
And The Rock had a whole pissy fit.
Yep. And now, he's in the movie.
Yep. And he's gonna do his whole own other...
And they announced he has his own spin-off with just him. Jason Statham's not part of it.
It was when... Hey, Disney's like going through and systematically making, live action remakes of their animated movies. Make mine. The one I'm in. I want that one because my career is not doing anything right now. So make the movie about mine. Your movie's less than 10 years old, but I'm Boyd and I want to be Maui again.
I don't like that he got recasted as Maui.
No, I would have definitely cast,
anybody else?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Whatever. I guess Dwayne has Maui's arrogance on lock, so we don't need to worry about that.
True.
Look.
Okay, back into the reviews. MasterChef Season 12.
Yeah, it's going. We're still in the 4-part long preliminary section, which has
Every
become
season
common
does this.
nowadays.
Yep.
It's because they've separated it. They've arbitrarily separated it, into sections of America.
Which aren't
It's not. Yeah.
aren't accurate.
There's the northwest. No, there's the northeast, mid-east, south, and then west. And west is if you literally.
No, there's 4.
Yeah.
You said 5.
I said northeast, mid-east, south, and west. I almost said northwest, but that was wrong.
No, it's the west, south, Midwest, and the northeast.
Yes.
That's the way it's broken.
It's dumb. 60% of the states are categorized as the West. I don't see why, because if you look,
I agree with their selection of the West. That makes sense. Even to the point to include Arizona.
I don't see the point of why do this, because look at any other season of MasterChef, and everyone was already coming from many various states across the country.
Well, do you remember Legends?
Yeah.
That was a big gimmick where they brought back people who failed at MasterChef or MasterChef Junior to compete.
Yep, that was last season.
I'm surprised we're still getting MasterChef. This show is older than 12 years.
Yeah.
In fact, I came across MasterChef Junior today, and there was no new episode. I was like, so we just forgot about this one?
I think it's because a lot of, news stories came out that they were fake. A lot of those kids were actors, and they were just being told to try baking things because they wanted to, at least in the first few seasons.
Well, you want to talk about fake? Mm-hmm. We'll go back to Gordon's new show, which I wrote down as Star Chef.
Yeah.
What'd you call it?
Food Stars.
Food Stars.
It's such a non-title for a show, especially a Gordon Ramsay show. It
might be his worst show I've ever seen.
He's the only host, and he
doesn't host.
No, he doesn't even know what they're doing. He has to hear them recounting the events of the day to make his judgment of who to eliminate.
It's got an amalgamation of Food Truck Wars.
Yeah.
Which is a fun show on its own. Mm-hmm. If you ever have a dream of having a food truck or you ever thought about fantasizing, go watch it. It's actually really fun.
It is. It can be very fun.
It's a very fun little competition, and it's not as crazy as any of Gordon's shows.
Also, Gordon's shows, they're getting so stupid.
It's unnecessary to show up on a helicopter, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's in this one, you're all doing a really big charity event in Vegas. It's as if whoever wins this season is going to be doing charity events in Vegas.
Yeah.
This is so irrelevant.
The biggest problem I have with it is sound design.
Mm-hmm. It's so weird.
And we will get to how good sound design can be.
Yes.
We will talk about a classic.
We will be getting to it.
But the absence of sound is not okay.
No,
it's horrible.
I don't understand. And when there is music and stuff, it's often as loud as the people talking.
Yep.
It's so weird. It doesn't make sense.
It has the feeling and the gumption?
That's not a word.
Gumption?
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 Yes.
Of MasterChef?
Yeah.
While still being Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. I think another thing they did poorly was so in the first episode, he split everyone into 3 teams, and then in the second episode, he re-split everyone into 2 teams. And so now I can't keep track of who's who.
Yeah.
There's 20 odd people. I could kind of remember them when they were in a team together, and they had a dynamic going, but he rearranged the teams.
Yep.
And I just can't keep up with who's who.
That's definitely another problem. Even with Next Level Chef, you do get to spend time with these chefs, these characters, and you get to learn for them. And as a producer, when you're creating a show like this, you want to create character arcs so that your audience can relate to them better.
Yeah.
And that would drive them to come back and watch it.
Yeah, whether it's an episodic character arc
Yep.
or a several episode or a whole season long.
Like, I've talked about one of the greatest things from MasterChef. Season 4 winner.
Luca.
You guys don't have to watch it. I'll just tell you right here. At the beginning of episode or season 3, they have their preliminary rounds, and chefs from all over cook, and not all of them are accepted. One of them is this kid, Luca, from Italy.
Yeah.
Gordon goes, "You're not good enough to go this year. Come back next year." And he goes, "I will." Season 4 begins. Luca shows up again.
Yeah.
He cooks, and Gordon goes, "You're ready." Luca goes halfway through that whole competition. He starts to really mess up.
He gets like a real rough patch in
It's
the
a
middle there.
bad rough patch.
Like he
He's
gets like
on
up
the
for elimination like multiple
Yep.
times. Yeah.
And there's a moment where he goes, "I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to get better." Takes the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
He won the whole thing. He is season 4's winner. That's a 2-year story arc that you have to go through.
But it's a good one.
But that's how you do it.
I know they're doing it with food stars, and like not only can I not even remember who any of these people are, but the ones who are beefing with each other changed from episode to episode. I don't know. And here's like the weirdest thing is like they all are semi-popular business owners. Like they all own successful restaurants and things already. So like. And they all have a specialty that they do. Like, in the first episode, there was a dude who did crepes and coffee, and then they
have no...
And then they told him to make burgers. And I'm like, because that's part of the fun with Food Truck Wars, is because they're different food trucks, they have, like, specialties to them.
Yeah, they're teams of 3, and they're usually with family members.
So then you can, like, kind of remember, oh, they're the ones who do the wings. Oh, that's the one who does the vegetarian food truck.
Yep.
You can kind of keep up with it. But here it's like, I know one of you does something with like burgers or some shit, but I don't know which one it is.
You know what the coolest thing about Food Truck Wars, about that difference in culinary, is sometimes the vegetarians, right, in this scenario, will team up with like the burger truck. Because they know, hey, we don't have vegetarian options. And they're like, hey, we don't have meat options. And then they'll meet together.
Okay.
And they just
do it like a wombo combo together.
And now the whole family can eat. That's a competition. That's fun. They're not forced by the producers or Tyler to tell them to do this.
Yeah.
They come up with these ideas on their own.
Hell, I feel like Tyler barely is involved. Like, he calls them and he talks to them.
He does very much what Gordon's doing in this new show.
And it's weird because even with this new show, it still feels like Gordon is it feels like Gordon wants it all to be the Gordon show.
Yeah.
But he's stuck being a host, and it can't be just about him doing things all the time, because no one watched that show.
I miss Hell on Wheels.
I thought Hell on Wheels was boring.
And Hotel Hell.
I thought they were both boring. I don't want to see Gordon pretend to be a therapist. Because it's like, he shows up to a place, and he sits there and points to the things that's going wrong, and then by, like, the halfway point, everyone's in there crying and breaking down. It's like, oh, it's because my father died, and I haven't, blah, blah, blah. And he has to, like, therapy them back to their feet, and then we act like everything's gonna be all fine and dandy by the end of the episode. And they'll magically turn it all around.
Credits roll, and then there's that white font that says, like, 6 months later they closed down due to insufficient funds.
They went back to their old ways, and it didn't work. Yep. all that really pushing the limits to make it look like the happy ending was not enough to actually make it a reality.
Yep. Okay. American-born Chinese. We got halfway through it.
Yes.
What'd you think? It's on Disney.
I really love it. I think it's so fun and creative. It's based off of a comic, I believe.
Yep. Based on the Journey to the West.
Yeah. Classic character Sun Wukong, and it's just fun. I like all of the prosthetics. Like, the makeup looks like Pigsy showed up, which was awesome. So he called him Pigsy, and so like we knew that was the character.
Is that the guy he fights in the kitchen?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then his hat falls off, and you see it's a pig man. And that was dope. And then Sandy showed up, and I knew it was going to be Sandy because they were hanging out with Pigsy and Goku. So, of course, it's going to be Sandy. And, so fun. If you love the story, there's a lot to love here. It's also just a charming coming-of-age story of...
Basically, Sun Wukong has a son who's defiant of him.
Mm-hmm.
And goes off to find the fourth seal.
Yeah.
And to find his human protector, because Sun Wukong has the priest.
Mm-hmm.
God, I looked him up, the monk.
He has a name. I don't remember it.
It's like the
others got cutesy nicknames, Pigsy and Sandy.
Yeah, but the monk is like the big guy.
Yeah.
That he's supposed to protect. His son kind of finds a human who's an American-born Chinese kid, who's in high school.
There's a lot of touching on, like, the subtle racism people have to deal with.
Yep.
Like, there was a part where they're in a bowling alley, and, like, they're just talking to each other, and some white girl comes up, and she just goes, "Ni hao," and they look at her, and she's like, "That's hello in Chinese," and they're like, "Yeah, we know," and she's like, "I'm being accommodating," like, she sat there and thought, "Oh, this is what you should do."
Ouch.
Yeah, and it's just like, oof. Like, if those kind of things are, like, make you cringe, don't watch the show, because there's a lot of it. There's a lot of calling Jin Jim.
Yep. Yeah, they're getting his name wrong.
Yep.
Created by the guy who directed Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I had to walk away to cook some stuff.
Yeah. Also, there was an episode entirely in Mandarin.
Yep.
And when you're...
That was so weird.
When you're drinking a little bit, it gets hard to keep up with subtitles sometimes. So
It wasn't the drinking. It was just going from English Chinese to just straight up full on Mandarin. And if you ever seen Mandarin film, which they do great job of captivating you.
Yeah, like encapsulating,
Capturing.
especially like 70s era
of China and their filmography, which I love. I've watched a lot of that stuff, and I'm like, this is really beautiful and it's well done, and they have great dialogue.
Ice Fantasy,
and accessing
Stephen Chow's
whole work.
God, I love his work.
But it was just so jarring because I'm like, that's not what I was expecting. But that didn't turn me off. I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was just weird seeing Wukong go into strip clubs.
It wasn't a strip club. It was
quintessentially a strip club.
No. It was different. It was like a fancy party for like higher up demigods and whatever.
Yeah, for the Buddhist monks, the holier than thou.
Yep.
Go check it out.
It's also hilarious. Specifically, I don't remember her name. God, I don't remember her name. I don't remember her character's name either. She's like the goddess of generosity.
Mercy.
Is that her name?
No, she's the goddess of mercy.
Oh.
She's the main character.
From Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yep.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Oh, God. Deborah. No, I'm not even trying.
She cracks me up. Her character, hilarious. There's one part where she was like going through and organizing things, and she had a keep pile and a throwaway pile, and then they have like a little conversation with each other, and then he sits down to help her with her keep pile and throwaway pile thing. And he picks up this, like, tub filled with, like, soy sauce packets. And he's like, "You want me to throw this away?" And she goes, "Hey, yeah, what, you crazy?" And then, like, hard cuts to, like, the opening credits. And I was like, they just sent me for days.
I'm going to agree with her. You keep that stuff.
That's true.
You never know when you need a toss back of soy sauce packet. You know what I mean? And yes, I do shred through soy sauce packets.
Yes.
I will drink soy sauce.
Just doing shots of them. Nothing's more fun than when you go out for sushi and you mix wasabi into your soy sauce cup, and then at the end, you do the shot of your wasabi soy sauce combo to finish off the meal.
I'm glad you made that public. That is something that I've shown you
that
I do.
Yeah.
And I like it as a finisher because it's a nice way to clean the palate.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to do that.
Well, you should. It's fun. It's a fun challenge.
It's also, the wasabi right down the nose. Oof.
As someone who hated wasabi growing up, I get to appreciate it now. I still hate ginger, though. I just can't get into ginger. I've tried.
Okay. I mean, Your loss?
More for you.
My gain? HBO. Warner Brothers.
2 big ones. End it off.
And a third special one here.
Yes.
Plus a very old movie.
Yeah. This is our HBO
So,
section.
how do you want to approach?
Let's start with the 2 shows that finished off this
Okay.
week. This last week.
Okay.
2 really big ones. Well renowned. Highly critically praised.
This last week, we lost 4 big shows.
Yeah.
2 of them, Succession
Yes.
and Barry,
Yes.
and Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Yeah, that
From
ended. We never watched it, but it was big.
It was big. Don't care. And Ted Lasso,
Yeah.
which we never finished off.
We didn't. I'm nervous about the 3rd season because I don't think it's gonna be as good as the first 2.
I don't think you can wrap that up in one season.
No, but I guess we have to watch it and wait and see. We have to renew our Apple Plus subscription,
I know, we got more dinosaurs to watch.
and I want to rewatch
Severance?
I really liked
Your
Severance.
obsession with Severance is bizarre.
It's so good. I just like it fascinated me, and I just want to see it again to see
Okay.
if there's anything else I can catch. Because now that I know the mystery, well, kind of, I know a certain step at the
don't
end.
know the mystery.
I know a certain part.
I don't even think the
of-
writers know the mystery.
That might be true, but also Ben Stiller's directing so good, and I want to study it some more.
That's a weird thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ben Stiller is a great director.
We get to the end of that first episode, that emotional roller coaster of Severance's first episode, and then just directed by Ben Stiller, and you and I just looked at each other like, what?
Yeah. That was not who I was expecting.
But no, Succession and Barry
Okay.
ended on HBO this last week.
Yes.
You were more of Succession's fan. I only kind of caught the last few episodes here and there. What are your thoughts on the ending of it?
It's hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I've been talking about, and it's not just me. For an average viewer who's not into those kind of acquisition mergers, the stock market,
Yeah, a lot of
the
like jargon.
the Fortune 500 companies,
Yup.
the international trade communion. There's a lot of this stuff. They are yuppies.
Yes.
They are strongly yuppies.
They are brats through and through.
Yes. The way it ended made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 of them do not get the throne. And I use that term very specifically because I'm not the only one who saw it there.
Yeah.
Tom Wamgans,
Yes.
who is Shiv's husband,
Uh-huh.
who at one point, Shiv tells him, I'm pregnant with your kid. And he goes, I don't fucking care. Because now he is one of the most evil bad guys, is the fucking winner.
Also, because by that
Cousin
point...
Greg squeezed by.
Which is good. Good for him. He deserves it. Cousin Greg was a good guy.
What are they known as? The garbage boys or whatever?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that is literally a mockery of corporate bullshit in America.
Also, the thing with Tom, it's because Shiv wasn't keeping the baby because she wanted a baby. She did it specifically so now she could have leverage over him, which is a scummy reason to have a baby. Mm-hmm. And he knows that. And he knows there's no real emotional attachment to both her and this hypothetical child that they might end up having.
Who's their older brother?
Connor?
No, not Connor.
Kendall?
Kendall.
Yeah.
Kendall's ex-wife took the kids and ran away from him
Yeah. Because they're
just
bad
before the
people.
end. And he was angry.
Yeah.
And he's like, why can't I spend time with my kids? And she's like, you don't understand. And it's like, dude, like the whole second season, you were suicidal and a drug addict.
Also, you know what this job does with parents and their children.
Mm-hmm.
They hated and resented their father, and then he's sitting there going, "Why can't I see my kids?" Like he's not doing anything different than his father was doing. Like he's not trying to be exactly what his dad was.
You know the weirdest part of it? The whole ending is, well, the company goes off and names their new CEO, and they do this whole acquisition merger thing, and it goes successfully. The three siblings are in their parents' and their dad's house, right? And they're just making like dinner and just sitting on the counter drinking wine and talking to each other like normal people, having fun.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends.
Well, maybe that's what they really needed, was to not be those higher up, because clearly they were born to be rich kids. They were not born to be in charge of companies like this.
No. And that's why their dad, Logan, was like, you can't do this. You're not capable of doing it. Now, people have brought it up, and when I was watching it, I noticed it too. It mirrors another HBO series.
Which one?
The Sopranos. I'm just kidding. It's still Game of Thrones.
The one you really don't expect to get the Iron Throne.
I heard a theory before the finale of Succession came out, where it ends with the three of them in a diner and just fades out.
Just cuts to black for a weirdly too long amount of time.
I was dying on the inside. But yeah, it's Game of Thrones, where everybody who you think deserves it doesn't get it. In fact, it's the fucking cripple.
And you can't... Don't say it like that. don't say it like it's a bad thing.
My dude didn't make it.
Which dude? Oh, Jon Snow.
I named my dog after him.
But like, you sit there and you think about it, and you're like, you know what? No, that does make sense. He is the actual best choice to go with.
Oh, John?
No. Bronn.
Oh, Bronn, yeah.
The one who actually got the throne, yes.
Well,
that
Bronn
does
has
make...
like weird magical powers, but yeah, it's that ending council where Bronn does win, and it's Peter Dinklage's character. Tyrion.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there with an Onion Knight, and I think, no, the Hound's dead.
Brienne's there.
Brienne. He's got those who actually survived.
I think the dude with the magic flame sword is there.
No, he's not.
Okay. It's hard to remember.
That character comes and goes. He's very finicky.
That was a weird...
I still cannot explain that.
I love it. It's such a fascinating element to throw into the middle of the story.
The one true god, his flame ignites.
Like actual magic.
And then comes and goes.
Yeah.
Anyways, he sits there and tells the story of the honeycomb and the donkey and the brothel.
The one that he was always teasing to tell.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's where it ends.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess that would be how it would realistically end. Right?
Yeah. Not everything. It's not always the fairy tale ending. It's the ending that does actually make the most sense.
And that's the way Succession ended. I had no tears. I had no problems. It made sense to me. I was like, okay.
The next one, Barry, the assassin hitman who wanted to be an actor.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yes.
I try not to think about this one.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I don't like it.
Yeah, see, that I knew it. Because I was thinking, when Fuchs comes in, and he has Barry's son, John.
Yeah.
And he takes John from NoHo.
Yeah, he pulls them out of the building where all the firing had happened.
And his whole thing, Fuchs' whole thing, was to kill Barry and get revenge for it.
Yeah.
And Barry being a disheveled old man, coming out just loaded with guns. But I don't know if you noticed, he really can't carry all that.
Nah.
He was struggling to move.
This is when he got in the car and he was like struggling to get in the car.
He's not that cool hitman that we knew him as. He's just the old guy.
He walked into a Walmart and just said guns, and then he walked out with a bunch of guns.
Well, why would he care?
Yeah, at that point.
Anyways, Fuchs hands off John, and Barry and John unite, and Barry and Fuchs looks at each other, and Fuchs acknowledges it, kind of with a smile, and then disappears into the night, and that's the end we ever see that character.
Yeah, I don't like the ending for any of the characters.
It's weird, isn't it?
I just didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that the last, 4 episodes is a time skip. Like a 7-year-long time skip.
We didn't explain a lot of shit in there.
Like, Barry and Sally stayed together, and I don't understand why she would want to stay with him. Even if she thought she was going to get accused of murder, which I don't think she was going to.
I think it's because she's a weak individual.
Yeah, maybe. Just needed someone to rely on her, and he was the only person who was obsessed with her to that degree.
He would kill for her.
Yeah, he did. Many times. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like it. I get it, but I didn't like it. I felt like they... It wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I would have preferred.
Yeah.
So...
I didn't expect Barry to go out like that.
At least it's over. I will say that.
No. It's over for now.
Yeah. Wait until we get John. You made that
John
joke.
WikiWick. No, I'm telling you. I think if they were to come back like 10 years later from now and tell the story of John.
Yeah, it totally could work.
What's Barry's last name?
Berkman.
Yeah, so it would be
John
Berkman.
It might just be called Berkman.
Yeah. Yeah. And he would just be Barry all over again.
Which could be fun. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what other people say about it.
I was also bummed that NoHo died.
Yeah, but he
died in a fitting way.
He was supposed to die in season 1, and the actor was just too fun, so they kept NoHo Hank around.
Were they really trying to kill him in the first?
All of the Russians were supposed to die at the end of the first season. And they just liked NoHo way too much, so they decided to keep him alive.
He's not a Russian.
Well, the Chechnyans. It's Chechnyans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, Barry did go in and just murder a ton of people. His kill count in that whole series is amazing.
Yes. He doesn't kill anyone in the last season. No, he did in the beginning parts. Never mind. Wait, did he? No, he doesn't kill anyone in the last season.
No. Huh. He doesn't even fight back to the guards.
No.
He's really just done with the whole thing. There is no forgiving Jeff. That's the name of this episode.
Shout out to the 3 people who's going to remember what that's in reference to.
It weirdly means a lot to me.
Yeah. You quoted a lot, surprisingly.
I think there's a reason why.
Another thing Warner Bros. Did, HBO, was 100 years worth of...
Guys.
Warner Brothers. 4-hour-long documentary.
Guys. Have you seen this one? Have you fucking seen this one? If you are huge into filmography and the history of cinema, or you want a goddamn good story to hear that is true and real, it is worth all 4 hours. And trust me, it's a roller coaster.
It is. I guarantee if you're in film school, they will start showing this.
Yes.
It'll be a week long, but it'll be worth it because it's fun.
And the best part? Morgan Freeman narrates it.
Yeah.
And they start all the way in the
40s?
No.
30s?
I was thinking like 1910s.
Like
is when the Warner Brothers started building it.
The real original
Because he was
Warner
building
Brothers.
The Stephogram?
Yeah, the thing that lines up audio and video. One of the Warner Brothers was like helming that. And
that film took, God, it was like $200,000 in that time.
Yeah, which was a lot for our time.
Which is like 20 million. He was basically trying to be George Lucas before Lucas was ever around.
And he nailed it. It worked.
Yeah. And
they got huge dividends.
That was the big thing is talkies. Mm-hmm. They're called talkies. What we watch are called talkies.
Yes, technically. Because Black and White didn't have that.
Yep.
And he figured it out. One of the Warners figured it out.
I was thinking a lot about the Warner Brothers because there's 4 brothers.
Yeah.
And I was like, 3 out of 4 of them are phenomenal guys.
Yeah.
Outstanding, upright citizens who gave so many people chances. Mm-hmm. There's a big reason why the gangster films are such a big thing for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Because that was where they grew up.
When everyone else was doing cutesy, twee little musicals, the Warner Brothers were letting people do harsher stories.
They wanted them to do that. They gave them money and said, I want to see these stories. And then there's fucking Jack.
And then there's that last Warner bro, the worst one, the baby. The spoiled little baby.
I was thinking about Jack, and you guys gotta watch it, but the move that Jack made that killed his brother.
Scumbag. It literally killed one of his brothers because they had a heart attack when they read about it.
The next morning.
Fucking.
I was just like, you're horrible, dude.
Yeah. And Warner Brothers tanked after that, too. Because he couldn't...
No, they had a slew of good CEOs.
Yeah, I mean, well, while Jack Warner was still around, it was a lot of old, we've done this before type films.
Yep.
Because he was afraid of letting people innovate. The entire thing that made Warner Brothers good in the first place.
Yep.
Now he wanted to stay safe because it helped line his pocket.
But the moment he gets removed, and you bring in someone who's not related to the family,
yeah,
you bring in the Dawn of Tim Burton,
really good films,
and the Batman.
lots of good shit.
Oh, there was just so much information from The Matrix, James Cagney,
Yep.
Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah. And it's fascinating to hear it all. They kind of rush at the very end, kind of gloss over their not amazing recent history, which I understand.
Yeah, when, what is his name?
Which him?
The current CEO.
Oh, Zaslav.
Zaslav?
Yeah.
Okay. When you see him, he starts out the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Very
he's standing there in his office next to the Maltese Falcon.
Yeah.
From the same movie, right?
Yes.
He's the most awkward motherfucker I've ever seen.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a charismatic chairman of a multi-billion-dollar company.
I would say he's got the face of Stephen Hawking, but not in an appropriate way. You know what I mean?
No, that just sounded kind of rude.
Yeah,
kind of ableist.
I'm not trying to hit down on Hawking. It's just his mannerisms didn't match what he was supposed to be conveying. Does that make sense?
I guess so.
He seemed like a badly trained actor.
Okay. Sure. I mean, I was more paying attention to what he was saying than what he was doing.
Yeah, but he's not saying. He's getting those... He's not conveying his words.
I see what you're trying to say.
It was...
Like, he knows what he wants to say, but he doesn't know how to say it.
Yes. I'm trying not to be absolutely rude about it, but it was jarring.
Yeah.
To me, it was jarring. Now, when you watch all the other CEOs, the way they talk, and some of them are still alive, and they were talking about it just fine.
Yeah.
And I was like...
It's really clear Zaslav does not deserve to be in that position.
No. We're in this weird era where, because of that merger, that happened. One of the weird things that I thought about this documentary, they don't go into Cartoon Network too much.
No, they don't. They barely touch on Looney Tunes, but it's like a brief passing thing. And that's the only part of their animated works that they talk about.
Yep. They mention Cartoon Network. They mention Adult Swim one time.
Yeah.
The TNT, the Turner acquisition, where they got HBO and TNT.
They mentioned the Arrowverse, but that's the only CW thing.
They don't talk about the CW.
Yeah.
It was weird. I was like, why did you just gloss over all this? Because there's a ton of content there.
I understand. I think they wanted to focus on the film aspect of Warner Brothers, but yeah, I was like, this could have easily been 2 more hours.
Yeah, you could have expanded it. And you and I felt the same. At the end, we were like, this should have been bigger.
Yeah, should have been more. But, well...
It's still worth watching all of it.
It is still a lot of fun. 4 hours, which is chunky, but it's worth it if you can get through it. Especially if you really love just behind-the-scenes documentary stuff about films and whatnot.
You ready?
Yeah. We watched The Evil Dead.
This is all you, baby.
Oh my god. So, I've been, wanting to watch it for a while now. I wanted to watch through the whole thing. And we watched it, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I thought about rewatching it yesterday.
We watched the original one.
Yes.
With Sam Raimi.
The original.
His first film with
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell as Ash.
Yep.
Before Ash gets a chainsaw hand.
Yeah, he doesn't lose his hand at the end of this one.
Yep.
It's just a straight up horror, and it's really smart.
Everything's nearly practical.
Yes, which makes it look even better. There's a lot of something I was thinking about. It's great that a lot of the scares doesn't come from jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from mounting tension. Like, you can tell something is coming, and you're just waiting, hoping the character can either fight it off or escape this threat before it reaches them.
Yep.
And I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was so much fun. Really cool stuff.
Incredibly gory.
Yeah, that was part of the fun of it.
The practicality helps with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very unnecessary to watch someone take a dull point of a pencil and drag it through someone's ankle.
Ooh.
It's all prosthetics.
You can tell. Like, it looks like rubber.
It does, but it's also still so gory. At one point, they shoot the Deadite in the basement through the head, and you can see through its head.
Yeah.
There's blood leaking out of the walls.
Yep, there's a whole section where there's just blood everywhere.
Yep.
And poor Ash is just getting, like, coated in it.
Yep. He's not the hero.
No, the way I described him was he's not the cool, badass hero man that you come to expect from Ash. He is instead the guy who regularly gets thrown into large pieces of furniture and then it gets stuck underneath them.
Yep. And it's an hour and a half long.
Yeah, which is impressive for their low budget.
And if you guys have never seen it, I do recommend it. Just know it's a horror film, so there's going to be some bloods and stuff.
Some gore and whatever.
There is one scene that I feel like is unnecessary.
Yeah, but, like, you don't see anything.
Yes, it leaves it to your imagination, but it's pretty clear what's happening.
Yeah, it's early on.
It's rated NC-17 because of that scene.
Uh-huh.
Again, I don't think it's necessary, but once you're past it, you can move on. Damn thing is a fucking roller coaster.
It's great.
You sit in the seat, you're there at the cabin with them, and you begin.
I like how there's no sitting there floundering like, oh, I don't know, man. Maybe we should get out of here. Oh, I just don't understand what's going. Like a lot of like that worthless dialogue that tends to just fill up other movies that are in a similar vein. It very quickly gets to it, and they very quickly understand what's happening, and they don't like it. But they're not suddenly going like, I just don't understand what's happening. What do we do?
So I was sitting there the other day after we watched it, and I was looking at the upcoming films, and I saw The Nun 2 is coming out this year.
Great.
And I was like, the first one was so bad.
It was awful.
I can't believe you're going to make the... You know what? If we're going to do The Nun 2, let's do La Llorona Dos.
Not only The Nun was awful, but everything from The Conjuring verse has been fucking lousy of late. Who wants this? Who's paying for it? It better not be James Wan.
It's Warner Brothers.
Ugh. I couldn't help but notice they skipped over that part in their 100-year documentary.
Yeah, they skipped a lot of that.
Yep.
But here's the thing. That's the 1970s.
Yeah.
I think it cost $200,000 to make that one.
Yeah.
No reshots.
Yeah.
Everything done right there in the moment. And probably like a week out there in the cabin.
I was wondering about that. I was like, I wonder if filming was even just a few days, maybe.
Yeah, it was.
And I was wondering what was the last shot that they filmed. And I theorize it's the shot where there's like a branch from a tree that falls through a window. And I assume it's that one because throughout the rest of the movie, I didn't see a broken window.
Did you notice that the car that Ash used to get there and get back is the one that Uncle Ben uses in Spider-Man?
Yeah, because it's in all of Sam Raimi's movies.
Okay, it's also in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I
thought
thought it was cute.
I knew that.
I thought it was really cute that they kept their Chevy.
It is a cute
their
thing.
Chevelle.
It's this horrible Dijon yellow color.
It's okay. It stands out.
It sure does. You can tell it was definitely just Sam Raimi's actual car.
I don't think it was his. I think it was his brother.
Yeah. Like, they didn't go out and find the perfect car. They just used the car they had available.
Yeah, that's all they had. Mm-hmm. All those tracking shots where you get the POV of the demon.
Yeah.
They literally took $1,000 camera, strapped it to a bicycle,
Yeah.
and then rode it through the fucking forest.
Yeah, they could have very easily...
They ate shit many times.
They could have really easily destroyed that camera, and it's a miracle they didn't, because it's not like
they destroyed themselves.
They just get another one.
Yeah, you don't, especially out there. Mm-hmm. So, I was thinking, if this is a Warner Bros. Film, and this is the 70s, and these are kids who have basically no chance of ever making it. Mm-hmm. And then you got The Nun from the 2010s.
Yeah.
Who already has all the budget.
Yes.
And all the information and knowledge that has ever been made.
Yes.
Since the making of them. Mm-hmm. Why is The Nun so fucking bad?
God, I feel like people have just...
Why are horror movies so bad compared to this one?
They've just lost what makes horror good and fun. They just fill up
It's
with
incredible.
screams and jump scares instead of like actual mounting tension or fascinating shots or interesting dilemmas to deal with.
And fucking sound design.
Yes.
That was the major part of that movie.
Yes, especially early on. But like you can tell, you can tell when the budget was more allocated in one direction versus another. And sound design was one of the ones that they really went all out with for The Evil Dead. Mm-hmm. And it's so good.
It fills in all the blank spaces.
Whether it's like an eerie score as they're approaching the house or a perfectly timed sound effect.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, good stuff.
The director of photography, he gets some really crazy good shots. Mm-hmm. Whether they're super close up or they're like over the top, where like keys get stuck in the door and they're trying to pull out the keys to open up the door.
Yeah, because you see the shot before where
and he set that up. That takes actual intelligence and thinking forward.
I liked the thing with Ash and his girlfriend where they were doing like this little game where he had like a box with a necklace in it and he had his eyes closed pretending like he was asleep, but she knew he wasn't. And they had this little game where they were like looking at each other trying to see if she could see him with his eyes open. And then at the end, when she was a deadite, she was pretending to be dead, and as he's digging her grave, they were doing that, but now for reals, she's trying to make sure she doesn't see that she's alive still, so she can still try to kill him. I thought that was clever. That was a cool duality. I liked that. Because I was like, that was a weird little thing that they did, but whatever, couples have quirks, and then it came back later. I'm like, I get it.
I'm glad you had fun with that couple.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
Huh.
The second one expands heavily upon it.
Woo!
I mean, like, an hour.
I'm excited.
And it's so much fun.
Yay.
Okay. I think that's everything that you guys should know about reviews. Mm-hmm. We obviously didn't see Spider-Man.
Do you want to talk about box office numbers real quick?
Nah, you guys are done. You just get out of here.
I mean,
I'm just kidding. Box office trolls, let's do this.
Box office troll. We know what's number one. It's unsurprisingly, it's Spider-Man,
What?
and it's going to stay Spider-Man for a while.
No, it's not.
I mean, even with the Flash coming out this next week, it's not.
You think the Flash is gonna stop him?
God no! I don't even think it'll be like at best it'll be top 3, but
they had to put in 2 or something Batmans into this movie to make it even oddly appealing.
And it's still not.
There's also multiple other superheroes in this movie.
Yeah, because
that you're not seeing.
It can't just be the Flash movie. I mean,
There's
it's just
no
called
way.
Flash.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse coming in number 1. 120 mil.
Woo! Hooray!
First week. Suck on that. Little Mermaid.
Number 2.
Marketing for this movie has ramped up.
I've seen less.
I've seen more.
I've seen nothing lately.
I saw a shampoo product for it.
What? Oh, you know what? I did see that.
And I was like, that is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I did appreciate it. Because also, like, Ocean Breeze is such a natural shampoo flavor.
And they have a black actress
Yep.
doing it, and she's a black mermaid and I was like, I love this.
Yep,
I love
yep.
all of this.
Made
This is amazing.
Made sense.
And I don't know why they made Ariel black, other than that.
Yeah, maybe it's her
But-
personality.
But it doesn't affect my feelings towards the character.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was really interesting, and the marketing, way to go, guys.
Yeah.
Just knocking it out of the park. Be more inclusive. Shut up. And
Dog sneezes.
total for 2 weeks, 186 million.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's gonna surpass you really quick here.
Yeah.
The Boogeyman, which is a Steven Spielberg movie. No, Stephen King.
Oh, Stephen King. Yeah.
I don't know why it's a Disney movie. 12 mil.
I've barely heard anything about this. I only saw trailers for it this week.
Really?
Yeah. I had not heard of it before now.
Yeah, it's not doing good in the reviews.
Stephen King's, all of his latest shit has not been doing good.
And they want to do more.
I know.
Like Mike Flanagan, which I love Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan, dude, do what you want to do.
Do everything.
Apparently wants to do Dark Tower.
I feel like if anyone could, he could, but I'm also at the point now where I'm like, I don't even know if you could do the Dark Tower. It's so weird. He didn't really have an idea when he was making the Dark Tower. He just kind of like winged it
Yeah.
the whole time. Oh, jeez. We get
Aegon,
it.
are you okay?
Oh, you woke up? Oh, you
He
woke-
looks like a goblin.
He is a goblin.
Look at his ears.
He's our little baby goblin dog. So cute. You cute.
Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Woo, 5 weeks strong.
Fast X.
Eh.
The Super Mario Brothers movie.
9 weeks in, and you can watch it streaming now. It's not a coffee break podcast if there's not a dog making noises.
I guess. About My Father.
Oh, whatever.
The Machine. Burt Kreischer's new movie with Luke Skywalker.
Yes, still in the top 10, amazingly.
So the reviews are horrific.
I figured.
The people who have watched it, who are, I've only heard from comedic fans, love it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess I will like it because I like comedy.
I kind of assumed this wasn't gonna be for everybody.
No. And comedy films never were, right? Mm-hmm. You Hurt My Feelings.
I have no idea what that even is. Oh, it's A24.
Yep. Number 10, Kandahar. Obviously Bollywood again.
Okay.
Number 11, Evil Dead Rise. And
Yeah, this was a thing
fifth
that
film.
inspired us to start this Evil Dead journey. 7 weeks in and still in the top 11. That's not bad.
I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention. I saw it earlier.
Is it Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No.
Still?
Is this still in there?
I don't know. I don't
Why
think
is
so.
Ant-Man still in there?
I don't know.
There we go. Number 26, Love Again.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to watch this movie.
It's going to be such a good bad movie. I can't wait to see it.
There's no reason for any one of you in film school to not take this concept and make it a horror film.
Yeah, do it. Run with it. Go now. Do it for your editing projects.
You're going to subvert everybody's feelings, and they're all going to be like, no, that was the correct way to do that.
Yeah.
So go enjoy that. I just want to see how bad of a story. It doesn't make sense.
It's gonna make so many leaps.
Don't you love me because I have your dead boyfriend's
Phone
phone number? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I've been literally stalking you this whole time, and you don't know I exist, but let's fall in love.
I saw
Then you'll forgive me.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 is coming out soon.
Really?
And I was like,
How many
never
big
wanted
fat
to.
Greek weddings can there be?
you only need to watch the first one. The first one's great. The second one, horrible. There's no way the third one's even worth it.
So, that was Coffee Break.
What's Coffee Break? I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.